There are places in Middle-earth where the world does not move in the same way. The Old Forest is such a place. If you enjoy calm stories from Middle-earth, you can stay a while. And if you'd like more like this, you can follow the channel. Now, the story begins. It lies beyond the lands most often traveled, beyond the paths that are known and followed without thought. It does not welcome those who enter it, nor does it turn them away. It simply remains. The trees there are not like those of other woods. They do not grow in clear spaces, nor do they stand apart from one another. Their branches reach outward and inward at once, crossing, weaving, forming a canopy that does not easily open to the sky. Light does not fall freely. It filters, softened, broken into quiet patterns that shift slowly across the ground. The air within the forest does not move as it does beyond its borders. The wind that travels over the hills does not pass easily between the trees. What enters the forest becomes still, held. As though the place itself does not allow movement without purpose, the paths are not fixed. They do not remain as they are. A way that seemed clear may not be found again. A turn that once led outward may lead deeper within. This is not done with intent, not in a way that can be understood. It is simply the nature of the place. Those who walk there often feel it before they understand it, a sense that the forest is not separate from them, that it is aware, not watching, not thinking, but present in a way that cannot be ignored. The ground beneath the trees is soft, layered with years that have passed without being cleared away. Leaves that have fallen remain. Branches that have broken are not removed. Nothing is taken. Nothing is forced to change. And so, the forest holds everything that has come before, not in memory, but in being. There are sounds, though they are not constant. A branch shifting where no wind is felt. A quiet movement that does not belong to any creature that can be seen. The slow settling of something unseen. These sounds do not disturb the stillness. They belong to it. Water moves through the forest as well, not in wide rivers, not in clear streams that follow a known path. It gathers where the land allows, forms pools, moves quietly from one place to another, never rushing, never seeking to leave. And in the deeper places, where the ground lowers and the light grows dimmer, there is a sense that the forest has remained unchanged for longer than can be easily understood, not untouched, but unaltered. As though time, which moves through all other lands, passes differently here, or perhaps not at all. Few come to this place without reason, and fewer remain long within it, not because it is hostile, not because it threatens, but because it does not guide. It does not offer direction. It does not provide what is expected. It simply exists, and those who enter it must move without certainty, must accept that what lies ahead may not be what lies behind. And yet, within this quiet and shifting place, there is no sense of urgency, no pressure to leave, only the feeling that one has stepped into something that does not follow the same patterns as the world beyond it. And somewhere within the old forest, not at its edge, not in the places most easily found, there is a clearing, a space where the trees do not press as closely, where the light settles more fully upon the ground, where the stillness is not heavy, but calm. And there, the forest does not feel uncertain. It feels at rest. Beyond the deeper paths of the forest, where the trees no longer press so closely together, the land begins to open. Not in a way that feels separate from what came before, only gradually. The ground becomes firmer. The light, though still softened, rests more fully upon the earth, and the stillness of the forest gives way to something gentler. There, a river moves, clear, unhurried. It does not cut through the land with force, nor does it rush toward any distant place. It follows its course, as though it has always known it, turning where it must, settling where it can. Its surface reflects the sky in quiet fragments, broken only by the slow passing of water over stone. Nothing disturbs it for long. Nothing remains upon it. It carries what comes and lets it pass. Near this river, set slightly above its bank where the ground rises just enough to remain dry, there stands a house. It is not large, not built to impress. It does not rise above the land around it, nor does it draw attention to itself from afar. It simply belongs. Its walls are shaped from wood that seems to have grown where it stands, not cut and brought from elsewhere. The roof rests gently upon it, covered in thatch that has settled into place over time, softened by weather and sun. The windows are small but clear. They do not hold back the light. They allow it to enter as it comes, without change. The door remains closed when it must, open when it can. There is no sense that it is guarded, no feeling that it stands apart from the land around it. The path that leads to it is not marked clearly. It is formed only by use, by steps taken again and again without intention to create a road, and so it remains faint, present, but easily missed by those who do not already know it. The air around the house is different from that within the deeper forest. It is not held in the same way. It moves gently, freely, airing the quiet sound of the river, the soft movement of leaves, and something else that does not belong to the forest beyond. Something lighter, warmer, not in temperature, but in feeling. There are signs of life, not many, not scattered, only enough to show that the place is lived in. Flowers grow near the edges of the house, not arranged, not placed with care, but simply present. Their colors are soft, not bright, not demanding. They open as they will, close as they must, and remain. There is no noise that comes from within the house unless one stands near enough to hear it. No voices that carry across the clearing. No movement that draws attention. Only the quiet sense that someone is there, not hidden, not removed, only present. The river continues its slow passage beside it. The light shifts across the ground as the day moves on, and the house remains where it stands, unchanged, untouched by anything that does not belong to its place. It does not mark time. It does not measure the passing of days. It exists within them, as it always has, as it always will. He does not arrive. He is already there. Tom Bombadil does not enter a place in the way others do. He does not come from beyond the trees, nor from the road, nor from any distance that can be measured. He is simply present. His steps are light, not silent, but without weight. They do not press upon the ground as though they must be carried. They move with it, as though the earth beneath him recognizes the motion and does not resist it. His voice, when it is heard, does not rise. It does not carry far. And yet, it reaches, not through volume, but through clarity. It is not hurried, not shaped to command. It flows as naturally as the river beside his house, without pause, without effort, and without concern for where it begins or where it ends. There is a rhythm to it, not strict, not repeated, but always present, as though his words follow something older than speech itself. He does not speak often in the way others do. He does not explain. He does not define. He names. And in naming, he understands, not as knowledge held, but as something that simply is. He does not question what stands before him. He does not measure it. He does not seek to change it. He accepts it completely, without hesitation, without need for reason. Tom does not carry the weight of the world beyond his land, not because he is unaware, but because it does not belong to him. What lies beyond the forest does not enter him. It does not shape his thought. It does not settle within him. He remains as he is, unchanged. There is no effort in this, no resistance, only a state of being that does not require movement to maintain itself. He moves through his land without direction, not because he is lost, but because he does not need to choose a path. Every place is already known, every turn already part of him. The river does not surprise him. The trees do not confuse him. The ground beneath his feet is not something he walks upon. It is something he is within. There is no sense of ownership in him. He does not hold the land. He does not claim it. And yet, nothing within it is separate from him. He is not its master, nor is he its keeper. He is simply part of it, in a way that does not divide, that does not define, that does not need to be named. Time does not move through him as it does through others. It does not pass over him. It does not gather. He does not grow older. He does not become something different. He remains, as he has always remained, not fixed, not still, but unchanged. There is no beginning in him that can be clearly found, no point at which he became what he is, only the quiet certainty that he has always been and will continue, not forward, not backward, only as he is. There are many things in Middle-earth that carry weight, not only in body, but in meaning. The passing of time, the shaping of lands, the choices of those who act within them. These things gather, they press, they remain. But in the place where Tom lives, these weights do not settle in the same way. They do not disappear. They are not undone. They simply do not remain. The river moves. It carries what comes to it. It does not hold it. It does not resist it. And in the same way, the world moves around Tom, without remaining within him. He does not carry what is past. He does not hold what may come. There is no need, because nothing requires it. What stands before him is enough, complete in itself. Not part of something greater that must be understood. Not a step towards something else. Only present. And within that presence, there is no weight. The trees do not press upon him. The forest does not close around him. Even in the deeper places, where others might feel the stillness as something heavy, Tom does not. Because he does not meet it as something separate. He does not stand against it. He moves within it, as though it were not something to pass through, but something already known. This is not a way of thinking. It is not a choice. It is not something learned. It is simply how he is. He does not seek meaning beyond what is there. He He does not question why things are as they are. He does not look for what lies beneath or beyond, because nothing is hidden from him, not because he sees more, but because he does not divide what he sees. There is no need to understand when nothing is separate. There is no need to hold when nothing is lost. The world beyond his land continues as it always has. It changes, it struggles, it rises and falls, but none of this enters him. Not as something to resist, not as something to ignore, only as something that does not belong within him. And so, it passes, as the river passes, as the light shifts across the ground, as the day becomes evening without needing to be marked. Tom does not measure. He does not compare. He does not place one moment against another. Each is complete. Each stands as it is. And in that, there is no weight, no accumulation, no burden carried forward. What has been does not remain. What will come does not press. Only what is. And this is enough. Time moves in many ways across Middle-earth. In cities, it is measured, marked by the turning of days, the passing of seasons, the slow change of stone and memory. In the wide lands beyond, it is felt differently. In the growth of trees, in the shifting of rivers, in the quiet change of things that do not speak of it. But in the place where Tom dwells, time does not move in either way. It does not stand still. And yet, it does not pass as it does elsewhere. The day begins, though it is not counted. Light comes, softly, without announcement. It settles across the clearing, across the river, across the walls of the house. Tom does not mark its arrival. He does not rise because it has come. He is already within it. The morning does not begin for him. It simply is. And as the light shifts, moving slowly across the ground, nothing is lost in its passing. There is no sense that what has been must give way to what follows. Only that one moment rests within another. The river reflects this. Its surface changes constantly, yet it remains the same. What passes over it does not remain. But neither is it gone. It is simply moved. And so it is with time here. What comes does not replace what was. It does not remove it. It does not carry it away. It exists beside it, without conflict, without division. Tom does not grow older. Not in the way others do. There is no measure of years upon him, no sign that time has passed through him, because it does not move through him. He exists outside of its measure, not beyond it, not separate, but untouched by its weight. There is no memory that he holds in the way others hold it, no past that shapes what he is, no future that calls him forward, only the present, and within it, everything that is needed. The evening comes as gently as the morning. The light fades. The shadows lengthen. The sounds of the forest shift. But none of this marks an ending. It does not close the day. It does not prepare for what follows. It simply changes. And Tom remains within that change, unmoved by it. Not because he resists it, because it does not move him. There are no moments that must be remembered. No events that stand apart. No passage that carries meaning beyond itself. Each moment is complete. Each stands alone. And yet, none are separate. This is how time moves here. Not forward, not past, only present. The days in Tom's land do not follow a pattern that must be kept. They are not arranged, not planned, and yet they are not without rhythm. There is a flow to them, a quiet movement from one moment to the next that does not need to be guided. Tom moves through these days without marking them. He does not begin them, he does not end them. He is simply within them. There are times when he walks along the river, not to reach a place, not to follow a path, only to move. The ground beneath his feet is familiar, not because it has been traveled often, but because it is never unfamiliar. Each step does not lead to something new. It continues what is already known. He pauses when he does, not because there is reason to stop, but because stopping is no different from moving. The river moves beside him, always. Its sound does not change, though its shape does. It does not call attention to itself. It remains, and Tom listens, not for meaning, not for change, only because it is there. There are moments when he returns to the house, not at a fixed time, not as part of a cycle, but because the movement of the day brings him there. The door opens, closes, without effort, without thought. Inside, the same stillness remains, the same quiet, unchanged. Goldberry is there, as she always is, not waiting, not arriving, only present. Her movement is like the river, gentle, unforced. She speaks when she does, not to begin something, not to end it, only as part of what already is. There is no urgency in their voices, no need to hold a thought beyond the moment it is spoken. Nothing is carried forward, nothing is held back. The house does not change with time. It does not gather age. It does not wear. It remains as the forest remains, as the river remains. And within it, the day passes, or perhaps it does not pass. It simply continues. There are no tasks that must be completed, no duties that must be fulfilled, nothing that waits, nothing that calls. Only what is already present, and Tom moves within it, as he always does, without beginning, without end. There are many things in Middle-earth that can be named: mountains, rivers, kings, and kingdoms. Even those things that are less easily understood are given place within the world. They are defined, described, held within the shape of what is known. Tom is not among them. He is spoken of. He is seen. He is remembered, though not in the way others are remembered. And yet, he is not held within any clear understanding. He does not belong to a place in the world that can be measured, though he remains in one. He does not belong to time, though he moves within it. He does not stand apart from the world, and yet he is not bound by it. There are those who have tried to understand him, to place him among other beings, to find where he began, to see what he might become. But these questions do not find answers, not because they are hidden, but because they do not apply. Tom does not begin. He does not change. He does not move towards something. He simply is. And in that, there is no need for more. The land around him remains as it always has. The forest shifts, though it does not change. The river moves, though it does not leave. The house stands, though it is not held by time. And Tom remains within it, not as its master, not as its guardian, but as something that does not stand separate from it. There is no weight in him, no burden carried, no shadow that reaches into what he is. The world beyond his land continues. It rises, it falls, it gathers and breaks. But none of this enters him. It does not touch what he is, because he does not belong to what can be altered. He does not resist. He does not protect. He does not act against what moves beyond his borders. And yet, within his land, nothing is out of place. Nothing is lost. Nothing is held that should not be. It is not control. It is not power. It is something else. Something that does not need to be named. Those who leave his land do not carry him fully with them. Not in thought, not in memory. Only in a quiet sense that something exists beyond what they can hold. Something that does not follow the same paths. Something that remains untouched. And that is enough. If you'd like to remain in these quiet stories, there are more waiting for you. You can stay and let another begin. And if you return often, you can follow the channel. Good night.